Legislative branch jigsaw activity. Group 3, U.S. Senate. The world's greatest deliberative body. How is the Senate designed for stability? The framers designed the House of Representatives to respond to the will of the people. The framers hoped that the U.S. Senate would reflect the interests of individual states. Thus, each U.S. state is represented equally in the U.S. Senate. The Senate currently includes 100 members, 2 from each of the 50 states. Qualifications and terms of office. The Constitution's formal qualifications for senators are more rigorous than those established for members of the House. Senators must be at least 30 years of age, citizens of the United States for no fewer than 9 years prior to election, and legal residents of the state they represent. The Senate and the House have very different terms of office and election cycles. Senators serve 6-year terms, while the House of Representatives faces election every other November. The Senate is a continuous body. Each election cycle, only a third of the Senate's seats go through the election process. This maintains the body's relative continuity and stability. Unlike members of the House, who represent single-member districts, senators are elected at large. This means that all of the voters in their state select them. At-large voting means that senators represent a more diverse group of citizens and a broader range of interests than members of the House. The 17th Amendment. The Constitution originally called for state legislatures rather than the voting public to select senators. The reason was to further insulate senators from the whims of public opinion. By the late 1800s, however, there were a number of problems with senatorial elections. In several states, legislators could not agree to whom to select for the Senate, and seats remained vacant for long periods of time. In addition, the Senate began to be seen as an elite club that merely pushed along the policies of the party bosses controlling state and local governments. As a result of these problems, many Americans argued that senators should be selected by different means. The 17th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified in 1913. It provides for a direct election of U.S. senators. The amendment declares that all persons who are qualified to vote for members of the most numerous branch of state legislatures may vote to select U.S. senators. Since the amendment's ratification, senators have been elected by the voters of each state. In recent years, some activists had called for a repeal of the 17th Amendment and a return to selection of senators by state legislatures. Those favoring a repeal believe the action would protect state interests from what they see as excessive power of the federal government.